Welcome to Astronomy Daily, your source for the latest space and astronomy news. Today we have an exciting lineup of stories from across the space industry. We'll look at a mysterious SpaceX mission that was scrubbed at the last minute that's generating buzz in the space community, explore China's ambitious new satellite Constellation project, and dive into NASA's latest plans for getting humans from the moon to Mars. Plus, we'll examine fascinating new research about the possibility of moons orbiting planets around binary star systems and more. There's a lot to cover, so let's get started. SpaceX has once again captured the space community's attention, this time with their enigmatic RRT-1 mission from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. While the launch was ultimately scrubbed due to high winds, it's the mysterious nature of the payload that has everyone talking. The mission details are unusually sparse, even by SpaceX standards. While many space observers believe RRT-1 will carry an advanced GPS satellite, specifically GPS 310, SpaceX has remained tight-lipped about the payload. The company hasn't even explained what the RRT-1 designation means, if it's an acronym at all. Adding to the intrigue, the payload fairing, that's the nose cone that protects the satellite during launch, lacks any of the usual artwork or logos we typically see on SpaceX missions. This departure from normal practices has only fueled more speculation about the mission's true nature. When the launch does proceed, the plan calls for the Falcon 9's first stage to return for a landing on the drone ship, a short fall of gravitas in the Atlantic Ocean, about 8.5 minutes after liftoff. The booster isn't new to spaceflight. This will be its fourth mission. As for the payload, it's scheduled for deployment into orbit approximately 90 minutes after launch, though exactly what orbit remains another piece of this intriguing puzzle. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, in a significant development for China's space program, a Long March 2D rocket successfully launched 5 new satellites early Thursday morning from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. These satellites form what's being called the High-Speed Laser Diamond Constellation Test System, marking an important step forward in China's space capabilities. The launch utilized a Yuanzheng 3 restartable upper stage to precisely position the satellites in 3 distinct orbits. Space tracking has confirmed that one satellite now occupies an orbit between 988 and 1,160 kilometers. Another sits between 791 and 812 kilometers, while the remaining 3 orbit at approximately 975 to 990 kilometers above Earth. While specific details about the satellites remain limited, their designation suggests they're designed to test advanced inter-satellite laser communication links. This technology could prove crucial for China's ambitious mega-constellation projects, including their national Guowang constellation and the Shanghai-backed Tianfan, also known as the Thousand Sails constellation. This laser communication capability could help address one of China's key space challenges, their limited global ground station coverage. By enabling satellites to communicate directly with each other using laser links, they could significantly improve their network's effectiveness and reduce reliance on ground stations. This launch marks China's 63rd orbital launch attempt of 2024, putting them on track to potentially surpass their national record of 67 launches set just last year. With several more launches scheduled before year's end, including what could be the first Guowang mega-constellation satellites, China continues to demonstrate its growing prominence in space exploration and technology development. NASA has just released a comprehensive update to their Moon to Mars architecture, providing fresh insights into their ambitious plans for deep space exploration. The new documents outline a methodical approach to establishing a sustained human presence on the Moon, while preparing for the ultimate goal of sending astronauts to Mars. One of the most notable revelations is NASA's decision to use nuclear fission as the primary power source for future Mars missions. This choice makes perfect sense given the challenging Martian environment. Unlike solar power, nuclear fission won't be affected by the planet's dust storms or the day-night cycle, providing reliable, consistent energy for long-term operations. The agency has also added 2 crucial new elements to their lunar infrastructure plans. First, they're developing a dedicated lunar surface cargo lander, designed to deliver essential supplies, scientific equipment, and communication systems to the Moon. Second, they're planning an initial lunar surface habitat that will enable larger crews to stay on the Moon for extended periods. significantly expanding our capabilities for lunar exploration and research. These updates reflect NASA's careful, staged approach to deep space exploration. They're not just rushing to plant flags. They're building the foundation for permanent human presence beyond Earth. The agency is working closely with industry partners, academic institutions, and international collaborators to ensure their plans are both ambitious and achievable. This methodical planning process includes a new prioritized list of key architecture decisions that need to be made early in the planning stages for Mars missions. By identifying these critical decision points now, NASA can better coordinate its technology development efforts and ensure they're investing resources in the most important areas for future mission success. In an exciting development from Tufts University, researchers have been investigating whether moons could exist around planets that orbit two stars. This groundbreaking study addresses a fascinating question about the complexity and diversity of planetary systems beyond our solar system. The research team used advanced computer simulations to model how exomoons might orbit what we call circumbinary planets, planets that circle two stars instead of one. What makes this particularly intriguing is that these binary star systems might actually offer more opportunities for potentially habitable worlds than we previously thought. Their simulations revealed that 30 to 40% of stable moons in these systems could exist within the habitable zone, that sweet spot where conditions might be right for liquid water to exist on a surface. This is particularly significant because while many circumbinary planets we've discovered are gas giants, their moons could be Earth-sized and potentially suitable for life. The study found that there are indeed stable orbits where moons could exist in these complex systems. This stability is crucial because it means these moons could persist long enough for life to potentially develop. The researchers specifically looked at different planetary configurations and determined what they call the Hill radius, essentially the gravitational sphere of influence, where a planet could keep its moons in stable orbits. While we haven't yet confirmed the existence of any exomoons, this research suggests that binary star systems might be promising places to look for them. The study also indicates that the best candidates for finding these moons would be systems where the two stars are widely separated, as this provides more stable conditions for both planets and their potential moons. Here's something to look forward to early next year. NASA is gearing up for an exciting new mission to study our sun. The PUNCH mission, which stands for Polarimeter to Unify the Corona and Heliosphere, is scheduled for launch in February 2025 aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Vandenberg Space Force Base. This innovative project will deploy 4 small satellites working together to capture unprecedented 3D views of the sun's corona and study how it transforms into the solar wind. The mission represents a significant step forward in our understanding of solar activity and space weather, with teams from the Southwest Research Institute leading the charge from both San Antonio and Boulder. PUNCH won't be traveling alone. It's hitching a ride alongside NASA's S03E232 observatory, making efficient use of the launch vehicle. Meanwhile, Virgin Galactic is expanding its horizons beyond U.S. borders. The company has signed a promising agreement with Italy's Civil Aviation Authority to explore operating their suborbital space planes from Grottaglie Airport in southern Italy. This collaboration marks a significant step toward establishing Virgin Galactic's first spaceport outside the United States. The project will unfold in 2 phases, with the first phase focusing on technical and operational requirements through 2025. This includes evaluating everything from potential flight paths to infrastructure needs. The Italian government has already shown their commitment by allocating 70 million euros for spaceport infrastructure development. While actual flights from Italy are still several years away, Virgin Galactic isn't slowing down. They're currently focused on building their Delta-class spaceplanes, with assembly of the first vehicle scheduled to begin in early 2025 at their new Phoenix facility. This expansion into Italy represents an exciting step toward making space tourism truly global. And now, a great example of astronaut ingenuity at work. From the depths of space aboard the International Space Station, NASA astronaut Don Pettit has taken space photography to new heights with an innovative solution to a complex problem. Using his engineering expertise, Pettit created a homemade star tracker that's allowing him to capture breathtaking images of the cosmos like never before. When you're orbiting Earth at 17,500 miles per hour, taking clear photos of stars typically results in streaky, blurred images. But Pettit's ingenious device rotates the camera to match the ISS's 90-minute orbital period, compensating for the station's rapid movement. This allows for longer exposure times, revealing countless stars and celestial objects that would otherwise be impossible to photograph clearly from the space station. The results are spectacular, crystal clear images showing thousands of stars against the backdrop of Earth, with our planet's distinct orange atmospheric glow providing a stunning contrast. While the Earth appears intentionally blurred in these long exposures, the stars remain perfectly focused, offering an unprecedented view of the cosmos from our orbital outpost. This isn't Pettit's first innovation aboard the ISS. During his previous stays, he invented the zero-G coffee cup, which became the first patented invention in space. That creation solved the seemingly simple but technically challenging problem of drinking beverages normally in microgravity, rather than through pouches and straws. His latest photographic innovation continues this tradition of creative problem solving, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space photography, and demonstrating how astronaut ingenuity can advance our ability to document and study the universe around us. Well, that's all for today's episode of Astronomy Daily. This is Anna, and I want to thank you for joining me on this journey through the latest developments in space exploration and astronomy. If you're hungry for more space news and want to stay up to date with everything happening beyond our atmosphere, head over to astronomydaily.io, where you can sign up for our free daily newsletter and explore our constantly updating newsfeed of space and astronomy news. While you're there, don't forget to check out our complete archive of past episodes. And if you want to connect with us on social media, you can find us as Astro Daily Pod on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Tumblr. Until next time, keep looking up and wondering about the mysteries of our cosmic neighborhood.